actually, how nutrition can help in the management of mental health issue. And we see in the present world, I don't know, for those of us in the clinical practice, you see a lot of mental health issues, mood disorder, stress, anxiety, depression. They are actually on a rise globally, everywhere, Africa, especially Nigeria. And people, this problem seems to be compounded when the right thing is not done, especially in the aspects of nutrition, what people put in their mouth. And you know, there is a popular saying that says that the gut is the second brain. So most people, the problem is wrong with their mood starts from their guts. And to this end, we want to look at this as professionals, what exactly is obtainable in the nutrition world to help people going through mental health issues, including mood disorder, stress, anxiety, depression, and all that. Please let me have the next slide, ma'am, because of our time. Okay, so we see a lot of research that are linking poor nutrition to poor mental health. For instance, especially mood swing and depression has been recently linked to poor diets. And the one I can relate with so well is anxiety disorder in children. Children that are fed with wrong diet seems to be very hyperactive at some time. And I remember there was a time we went for a seminar, a training, where we were trained on how to address children with special needs, especially needs that have to do with neuron disorder, things that have to do with also things that have to, and then in that training with mental issue that are fed rightly with right diets, they have higher chances, they have better prognosis, they have better chance of being regulated than children that are being fed with wrong kind of diet. So to this end, we are going to be moving into this proper. Please, can I have the slide, please? So the emerging research shows that poor nutrition can negatively affect brain function and emotional stability, while a balanced nutrient even support recovery from mental illness. And to this end, we are going to be looking at some diets that has been researched. Not all though, however, we have some that has been researched, not just claim, but they have been researched to actually work and help in the management of mental health issues. So please, let's move the slide, ma'am. In this new discovery, and I'm sure most of us as professionals we are familiar with the psychiatry, nutritional psychiatry area now that is giving clue or interest to a lot of practitioners. They are now looking into how what we put into our system can instantly affect how we behave or what we feel. For instance, someone will say, if you are not happy, grab. If you are depressed, eat your chocolates. So those are the things that are said on discovered that a lot of people are actually directly reacting to what they put in their mouth as a human being. Depression, anxiety, stress, and mood disorder has been confirmed to be linked to all these issues that people have been linked to nutrition and the kind of diet people put in their mouth. Actually, therapy and medication play important roles in the treatments, no doubt. Therapy and medication actually helps to play out when it comes to managing mental health. That should not be overlooked. However, the recent scientific evidence reveals that a compelling link between what we eat and how we feel is strong. What we eat and how we feel is a strong evidence. There is a strong evidence now scientifically. Emerging research shows that poor nutrition can negatively affect our brain function, which we have said. So, what specific food support mental clarity and emotional balance? What are those foods that has been researched? Another question we are going to be asking ourselves is, how do deficiencies in certain vitamins and minerals impact the brain? We will look together what small changes can we make in our diet to support better mental health. So quickly, let's move into those diets that has been researched. Emotional balance and overall brain health has a lot of things to do with the nervous system and the gut health. Now, some food, you see, some people are having mood swing. We just, as nutritionists, tell them look for fatty fish and all that. So really, we are going to be looking into what works, what makes the fish to work for mental health, clarity, and mood improvements. Today, we are exploring this together, and let's go. The first thing I have on my slide is the fatty fish. Of course, in Nigeria, we have some fish that are common to us. That's why I use a familiar fish that these fishes are familiar with. These are, salmon, mackerel, as we all see it in the market. Even though there's a lot of circulation about ice fish, that one is a topic for another day. But we are going to be discussing the reason why fish is beneficial to mental health. So what is it in fish that makes it beneficial? It is the omega-3 fatty acids, which are essential for brain structure and neurotransmitter function. How does this do that? It reduces symptoms of depression, anxiety. It supports memory and focus. So that's why when we are co-managing a patient that is having mental health issue, it's important that we add good amount of fish as part of their diet, especially omega-3 rich fatty fish. Please let me say this. It's in this place, I know we all know, the catfish that they rear in our environment, a lot of them, there is a lot of compromise on all these things. And I think we need to pay attention to being specific to our patients, to not look into the catfish direction, rather other fishes that are more healthy than the catfish. So let's look at the leafy greens, especially our ugu, the ones that are common to us here, ugu, spinach, the efo, tete, and all these things. We have some that are very common to us. So going to the market, water leaf, bitter leaf, all these are loaded with folate. They are loaded with folate, magnesium, vitamin K, and some other water-soluble vitamins. And they are linked to mood regulation and cognitive health. The benefit is that it helps to reduce fatigue, brain fog, and symptoms of depression. So for people going through emotional issue, this is a good and healthy part. This should be a good and healthy part of their diet prescription. Another one is the nuts and seeds. Another one is the nuts and seeds. Am I loud? Am I audible enough? Is everyone hearing me, please? Can I have a yes, please?
Yes, we can hear you very clearly, ma'am.
Yes.
All right, so now nuts and seeds. The ones we have that in our area is walnuts. Of course, people have the very good and very so why? It is high in healthy fats. It's not high in vitamin E, and they are also high in zinc. And all these nutrients are actually brain protective in nature. And the benefit it gives to mental health is that it supports brain cell communication and helps manage stress. So when people are stressed a whole lot of time, we can just recommend that part of their daily diet is that they take handful of nuts. We should also consider the calorie. However, it will be good if they can add the healthy nuts to their daily diet. The next one on my list is whole grain. Whole grain in Nigeria, yes, we have access to whole brown rice. We have access to sorghum. We have access to millets. All these are very good, and they actually are also loaded with folates. They are loaded with magnesium and vitamin K. And all these nutrients have been linked by research to mood regulation and cognitive health. The benefit is that it helps to reduce fatigue, brain fog, and symptoms of depression. Okay, so for this particular whole grain, one other thing that happens is that it helps with consistent energy release. That is, whole grains are a form of complex carbohydrates, not the simple carbohydrates that releases sugar. There is a sugar spike, and then there is a high, and low in energy. So whole grain as a complex carbohydrate actually helps to release energy to the brain in such a gradual way and healthy way that keeps the mood regulated. For people that takes a lot of sugar rush, you see them in a short while, we have this low, and then the mood will change. They have mood swing all of a sudden, even after the sugar rush. So the whole grain being included in healthy diet is something that helps to regulate the mood and give a consistent release of energy. Let's look at the fermented foods. Fermented foods, as we have it in Nigeria, yogurt is common on our list. This other kefir is not something that we're familiar with in Nigeria. So when we want to, I love to talk about things that people can easily have access to. I like to talk about things that people can have access to easily. Of course, we have access to yogurt, we have access to ogi, we have access to fermented locust beans, and the other one, mogiri. All those fermented local food, they are actually very good. They promote the gut health and produce good bacteria that influence mood via the gut-brain axis. As we all know, that our gut is the second brain. So the kombucha drinks can also be of great help. Okay, so I came across a kombucha drink sometimes last month, okay, a few months ago in Nigeria now. There's a company that produced this kombucha drink that is very high in probiotic. And when I had it, so I gave some of my clients, and you know, the report has been so good. They come back, oh, what kind of drink is that, madam? It actually sedates me. It's like I felt very relaxed. I slept well. I woke up well. And then I had to research into that drink because I didn't, so which is very rich in probiotic and very excellent for gut health. And how does this benefit the brain health? It reduces symptoms of anxiety and depression. The next food on my list is berries. Berries are rich in antioxidants and flavonoids. They are rich in antioxidants and flavonoids, and it benefits brain health by improving the memory, protecting the brain cells, and then reducing the oxidative stress that is linked to mental decline. A lot of time, oxidative stress is what leads to mental decline in so many patients. Excessive stress, oxidative stress, and then people now compound the problem by eating the empty calories that does not really add to their brain health. At the end of the day, the situation becomes worse. I have seen patients that come around, and by just giving them a healthy meal plan, they go and come back and say, I think I feel better in my mood swing. And I think this is linked to research to the antioxidants and the flavonoids that are present in this diet. The next one is chocolates, the dark chocolates. In moderation, I had to that people take advantage of because they said that dark chocolate is good for us. Then people overdo dark chocolate. Of course, when you have calorie dense, you take foods that are calorie dense, of course they affect negatively at the end of the day. So I encourage patients of our clients to take them moderately just to improve their mood. How does dark chocolate affect mental health and mood? It contains flavonoids that has been researched to contain theobromine and then the caffeine. Although it depends, and we need to also check. How does that benefit? It enhances the mood, the force and blood flow to the brain. And once there is enough blood flow to the brain, a lot of times, some people are having circulatory problem. And if my side does not do it, some food like dark chocolates, we do that. And of course, we know diet is important when it comes to blood flow. In the generally in the body, diet is key when it comes to blood flow, including to the brain. Let's talk about avocado. Avocado has been researched to be packed with healthy fat, vitamin C, and vitamin B6. And the benefit is that it supports neurotransmitter production and brain function. Because of my time, I think I need to rush now to be able to give time to question and answer. Are we still here together?
Yeah.
Then we have, thank you. We have eggs. Please, why prescribing eggs to our patients? Let's encourage them to do more of organic egg. The one, although I know the world where we live in now is most all this the way the eggs are produced. However, we can encourage patients, and even some of us can now be looking into the direction of doing organic consume. Egg is an excellent source of choline, vitamin B12, and protein. I know healthy parts of um, healthy part of diet plan for our patients that are having mental issue is vitamin B12. So vitamin B12 is a critical part of this. And the benefit is that it helps with memory, nerve function, and mood regulation. The last one on my slide is the green tea, because it contains L-theanine and a small amount of caffeine. Now, on this, I will just give a tip. I know some of us, we know this, but let me just share. That's why we are here as professionals, dropping mind together. Green tea promotes calm focus and reduces anxiety without drowsiness, but this is how it is. Our green tea also has caffeine, I hope we know. But in a recent research, it's been discovered that green tea, if you want to reduce or minimize the amount of caffeine that is released into your cup, should be brewed between 3 and 5 minutes, not more than that. Once, when you brew it between 2, 3, 5 minutes, 4 minutes on the average, you know, you will get like the healthy and in some of the other oxidants, and then reduce caffeine, amount of caffeine. However, if you brew it beyond this and for a longer time, you get to release a lot of caffeine into your cup of tea. Then let's just share, let's throw the slide and let me share the other things that can actually help, other tips that helps with the other tips that helps with mental health is hydration. It has been confirmed through research that even mild dehydration can cause brain fog and irritability. Water is very essential. Let's share the other ones. Please, let's move the slide. Sugar, high sugar and ultra processed foods can spike and crash mood and energy. Just like what I was explaining, the high and low in energy. It can actually spike and crash people's mood when it is consumed. That's why we need to discourage empty calorie and highly processed food in people that are going through mental health challenges. Of course, I want to encourage that people eat a variety of food because the brain thrives on a wide range of nutrients. To this end, I want to say thank you for listening to this presentation, and God bless every one of us. Thank you for your time. Thank you for the opportunity. I would like to take the questions now. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much, ma'am, for this awesome presentation. We truly appreciate it. So it's time for a Q&A. Let me stop sharing. So if you have questions or comments, kindly indicate raising your hand. If you don't want to speak, you can actually drop your comments on but I would like all of us to actually drop a comment to just appreciate our guest speaker for this wonderful presentation. So I have one comment already, a question that's from Mr. Chika. I'm going to read while we expect others. Please, if you don't raise your hand, if you want to speak, you have to raise your hand for me to call you. And this segment is for 10 minutes. The question from Mr. Chika, do you have a summary of servings, cups, or portions of these foods you mentioned based on age classification? Did you hear that, ma'am? Hello, madam. Madam Folake, if you're speaking, your mic is actually mute, so you'd have to unmute so that we can hear you. I'm not sure if she's still on the call, but we can't hear her. So, but please, okay, I think she's trying to join with another phone. So thank you for all the comments you're dropping on the group. Madam Folake, are you back now with your phone? I guess you were changing your system. Okay.
Thank you. I had to try to join with my phone.
Yes, that's fine. So
because
let me read the question. So let me read the first question so that we save we use
go ahead.
Okay. Do you have a summary of servings, cups, or portions of these foods you mentioned based on age classification?
Hello?
Did you hear the question, ma?
The person is asking for portion, right?
Yes, summary servings, yes, portions based on age classification.
Well, I don't have that at the moment, but it's a thing we can all research into. I have some that has been established, but it's still an area that we all need to research into. Then another thing with diet need, nutritional need of patients, it has also there's no one size fits all in nutrition practice because people have different needs. People with different health challenges, need different portion of food to be consumed. They need different portion of food to be consumed. So I encourage my professional colleagues that there is no one size fits all in nutrition, the way we have always believed. Someone with diabetes need will be different from someone that is a healthy person that is just trying to keep health, just trying to maintain health.
Yeah, very
And
true.
so there is no one size fits all for nutrition when it comes to portion and all that. That's why I wouldn't say there is a standard portion for people to follow for nutrition and diet, especially some of all these things we are consuming because of the micronutrients. You know, there are what we need for health in some of these diets that we have discussed is the micronutrients that is present in them for specific health challenge. And so patients' needs are different and it varies according to age and according to present health challenges they are facing. So that's my own response to this.
Okay, thank you so much, Ma. I truly appreciate your response and your time. If you can go through the chats in the group, there's a lot of appreciation for the session that you just had. This is the last question. Okay. Madam Fatima Amodima, Chief Mrs. The mic is yours. Kindly unmute and speak, ma.
Good morning, everybody.
Morning, ma'am.
Thank you for the wonderful presentation. Going by what the question about quantity or cup or whatever, you've made 2 points. There are other factors. As you rightly said, there's nothing that is paramount to everybody. Everybody, when you talk of a patient, they are all individuals. And there are a lot of factors we have to look into. Number one, what is their source of income? The ethnicity. What is their liking? Their feeding habits. All this should be in place before you say, this is the quantity and this is how to go about it. Having said that, that can easily take us to the method of cooking and preparation of the food. In other words, most of the cooking habits people have formed over the years, they end up destroying most of the nutritive value with the cooking method. So all these two needs to be looked into. There are a lot of things that we have been saying, and I know we shall continue to say it so that the life itself is based on nothing but what we eat. Thank you very much. I'm just
Thank you.
keeping that in.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you,
For the contribution. Thank you.
That's right.
So, one question from, sorry, just one, Jeremiah, unmute and speak quickly because our time is up for question and answer. Quickly, so that our speaker can, she said she's in the community. Mr. Jeremiah, can you speak, please?
All right, thank you very much. Can you hear me, please?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
All right, thank you so much. Okay, yes, I am. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Please go ahead.
Okay, all right. Presentation, and my question is this. Yes, we are familiar with most of this. Okay, yes, we are familiar with these nutrients that are, present in the food that we have discussed earlier. But my question is this: do we have what's it called, nutrient interactions in the area of mental health? So that when you are prescribing a food, let's say you're trying to manage, let's say, depression, for instance, and then you are prescribing food that are rich in micronutrients that might help to manage that state for that patient. Are we also looking into nutrient interactions? Number one. Number two, are we also looking into nutrient drug interaction? Because most of these patients too are also on drug regimen. So I think it's a concern.
Yeah, so thank you. Madam, you can go ahead and respond. Thank you.
Okay, if we have other people that can also respond, I will appreciate it because we are also all here to learn.
We're all professionals.
However,
okay, go ahead.
Yes, ma'am. However, the nutrient interaction, well, that is not something I'm too familiar with. However, nutrient drug interaction is very common. And one thing we also need to know as professionals is the fact that, for instance, most people that have, from the little clinical experience I've had, most people that have mood swing, mental health issue, it's emerged from metabolic syndrome. There's a metabolic disorder. And most of the time it presents with high cholesterol, fatty liver, blood viscosity, high blood viscosity, and all that. And when you now look into this, some of them are already on blood thinner. So you want to be careful about food. Well, that's why as professionals, we sit down and look at foods that have tendency to thin their blood further. And this is how to look at things as professionals. For instance, some people we prescribe a lot of ginger and garlic in their food and all that. All those things needs to be toned down because, of course, if they're already on a blood thinner in the hospital, then you don't want to give them food that will further thin their blood to avoid bleeding and all that. So all these things are things we need to look together as professionals. However, we are also open to learning from other professionals too, because that's the whole essence of this training.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, ma'am. Does anybody want to contribute to that answer in 1 minute?
Okay, can I say something?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, when we look at, I want to also commend Folake for the beautiful presentation and the answer she has given to the food nutrient interaction. She has well said about the food drug interaction, but on the nutrient interaction, there are some very basic understanding that we have about interplay between different nutrients, within the body. If we look at something like calcium, okay, this nutrient interaction, sometimes a nutrient can enhance absorption or utilization of another nutrient. On the other hand, it could also inhibit. So when we look at nutrient like calcium, its absorption is enhanced by vitamin D, while it's inhibited by phytates. So it's just for us to apply the same knowledge we have and know whether with the nutrients that we can combine together, especially if those nutrients are specific, in that particular individual and that particular client that we are looking at. So we also ensure that we rule out other nutrients that can inhibit it. So that's just the, general way I'm looking at it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you, Madam Folake, for being committed to this session, even with your busy schedule, being that you are in the community. We truly appreciate it. So at this point, we'll move to, we can always continue this conversation on the group. Thank God we're all on the same WhatsApp group. So if you want to continue the conversation there, we can always do that. So right now, I would like to hand over the microphone to our PRO, Mr. Ogona Mbam, for the conference registration and membership updates, and then the frequently asked questions and answers. Mr. Ogona, the mic is yours. This session is for 10 minutes. If it can be less, I will be very grateful. Ogona, are you here?
Yeah. I'm here. Good morning, everyone. Actually, I want to thank everyone that have contributed so far to this meeting. And I'll be giving presentations on the registration progress for the conference, membership updates, frequently asked questions. And in addition, I'll also be talking about